Okay, folks. Feels like it's up too high, but I guess it's not. It's slightly too far one way. There? That should do it. Right. Let me get some music on the go. Sound down a bit. Oh. Always have it on the wrong audio device. There we go. Might be up a little too high. Okay. So, welcome in, folks. The lamp, still haven't bought a bulb for it, but I'll remember to do it eventually. Instead, I have this blanket because it's cold as shit in my house. It's like 11 Celsius. I don't know what the fuck that is in Fahrenheit. I don't really care to put it across, but it's cold. Heating is expensive, and being cold is well, this cost me 14 quid, so I guess being cold costs 14 quid. Or not being cold when it is, you know what I mean. It's cheaper than the heating. I can have the heating on for 6 hours total, or buy this, which is what I bought. So, it also means I'll just kind of disappear into the background as well, because this thing is just black, which is kind of funny. I am going to be carrying on with working on plant creatures today. Mostly what I'm going to be doing is converting old plants from 3.5, just because I think that sounds fun. Like, I just kind of want to do that. And I think probably the coolest place to start is going to be the topiary monsters. Because the topiary guardians in 3.5 are like a specific monster. But I think what I actually want to do, I forget which 3.5 monster manual they're in. I think they're in Monster Manual 2? I'm not sure. No. It isn't that one. Let's try Monster Manual 1. No, I guess they are in Monster Manual 3. Yep, there they are. So they are a very specific, like, they have very specific subtypes. Like there is a boar topiary guardian, there is a triceratops, then and things like that. But realistically, it would make way more sense to make a monster template. Monster templates are criminally underused in 5e. There's like 2 of them, I think. There's the Dracoliches, and there's the Myconid Spore Servant. I'm fairly certain there are 0 others, and they're fantastic because it allows you to take any monster and turn them into a specific kind of thing. Like the Spore Servant, you can turn anything that any corpse that a Myconid puts its funny spores in becomes a Spore Servant, and it uses the stats. It loses a lot of its abilities, but it still, maintains its basic, like, physical stat line and a lot of its abilities in a manner that is quite interesting. And I want to do the same with the Topiary Guardians. Certainly in the tweet I sort of put out in the, to sort of promote the stream that I was doing, I used Topiary Stomper from Streets of New Capenna, the magic set that came out earlier this year, because it's a T-Rex. It's a big Topiary T-Rex, and I think it's a cool card. I like it a lot. It's not very good, but I do like it. It's a fun card. It's not bad, but it's not all that either. It's just kind of, but so I want to make a template, and that's going to be what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put that. So I'm going to put this in here. So Topiary Guardian. Right, let me go look at the 5e template. Let me search up Monster Manual. 5e monster manual. Here we go. Myconids. Myconid. Haha, there we go. Topiary Guardian. I really like that font. I'm glad I started using it. It's a little on the bigger side than I would maybe like, but it does look good. So I say, welcome in. Currently, making a new template for monsters because there's not enough of them in 5e, and I think they're cool. So yeah. Oh shit. A physical. Such a creature with the incorporeal movement trait. Let me look at the other creature types and see if there's anything obvious that I'm missing. Of like, oh yeah, you obviously shouldn't be able to mimic this creature type. An elemental or ooze. Without a physical shape, such as one that There we go. It's a little fiddly, but it's kind of hard not to be, really. Right. Characteristics. There we go. Retained characteristics. Why are hit points not capitalized, but armor class is? I know why hit dice are, but even so. Oh. This part will be a little boring as I'm trying to sort of work out the exact specifics of how we can get this to work. The Guardian loses. I think its speed should probably be the same. Yeah, let's keep it the same. Oh, I started using servant because I'm copying from the wording from because I've never made a template before. In the many years I've been making monsters, I've never once in my life made a template. I've always wanted to, for like zombies and skeletons especially. But I never have. Let's find a plant creature, like a sensible plant creature. Common sources. Plant. There we go. Twig blight. That seems like an appropriate. You know, actually, Now we'll go with the same thing that the Oh no, it doesn't use and. Blinded. Oh, deafened. Can't be blinded, charmed, frightened, or paralyzed. Languages. One of these has susceptibility to fire. Here, Oh, it is a trans. I'm just oh, it's because I scrolled up instead of down. Whenever the Guardian takes fire damage, it takes the maximum possible damage. I'm trying to think of like the weirdest creature you can copy with this and like it not really make any sense. There's always going to be weirdness with abilities like this. I just need to find like what the line is of like why I can't cross. Probably the weirdest one is it can't cast spells. Or it can't cast verbal spells, but it can cast spells. It loses any spellcasting capabilities it had. Any characteristics it has that deals damage other than bludgeoning to a creature. Instead deals slashing damage. Again, there's definitely some weirdness there. Like, there's going to be a very specific creature. Like, obviously, if you have a topiary dragon, right? Like, it's gonna breathe like like shoot needles down at you or whatever. I don't know, but there's got to be a really weird one in here that actually doesn't make any sense. Oh, I guess they can do poison damage too. Bludgeoning, piercing, poison, maybe necrotic. Nah, bludgeoning, piercing, poison, or slashing damage instead. Yeah, that makes an amount of sense. Let's check the original Topiary Guardians and see if they have any special abilities that I'm kind of missing here. Ooh, that's a thing. That's a thing. That is. Oh, that's important actually. He needs to have false appearance. Are they called sculptures? I don't think they are. No, they are topiary sculptures. Okay. Okay, let me look at... That is cool. I like that. And now we need to make an example. And I think I'm going to use a manticore, because I think that sounds cool. Sample. Oh, hang on, I can do a thing. Ah! Oh, I don't want the text. Oh, I was going to give them skills as well. I was going to do that. There we go. Topiary Manticore. Oh, it loses its Topiary Manticore. That I really like. I'm very happy with that. Yeah. Yeah, that's very simple. I thought that would be a lot more complicated than it was, but even so. Oh. Right. So let's go on to my list. Oh shit. So I hovered over the thing for too long and it like popped me back onto my fucking desktop. Right. Let us look at the creatures I have on my list of cool things to do. Because I have a big list of like creatures I want to convert. I'm sure a lot of them I'll like look into them and be like, huh, yeah, this is actually really fucking boring and I won't want to use it. But maybe that won't be the case. Maybe they'll all be sick as fuck and I want to use them all. I'm just going to start at the top and see what this first creature is. What the fuck is a Basidrond? Because there was probably a point quite recently where I did know the answer to that question, but as of right now, I don't. Basidrond. Basidrond? It's a fungus. It's a fungus man. It walks. It's not a man. It's like it's like a bowl on legs. It's a whole kind of situation. Oh, it makes you trip balls. Okay, that's cool. Okay. That's interesting. This thing is interesting. This thing is very interesting, actually. I really like it. I'm gonna adapt it in the same way I sort of did the Tendriculus. Basidirond? Basidirond? I don't know how. I'm just gonna keep saying it until I settle on some like a way of saying it that I like. It's also nice to make a monster that doesn't start with the letter T for the first time. Insert monster block. Now this thing looks like it's medium. CR5 apparently, which is a good sort of CR for a plant creature. Like, fun fact, in base 5e there are 0 plant creatures that are above CR9. I'll just double check and make sure that is true for all of the adventures as well, but I'm fairly certain that's still the case. Damn, it is fucking raining outside. I can hear it through my headphones. Oh, there is one. Wait, no, there isn't. Ignore me. I'm stupid. No, there is none. Medium plant. I would assume these things are probably unaligned. Like, they don't seem intelligent. They just seem like, yeah, they're just They're just dudes. They're just kind of guys, you know? Just guys being dudes. They're like all of the other fungus creatures, like the violet fungus and things like that, where they're just kind of like... They're just alive, and that's kind of it. So, let's give them the requisite statistics. What stats do they have? 20 strength. I mean, this is 3.5, so it'd probably come down to probably like, you know, like 17 strength. 13 dexterity. That does genuinely quite surprise me, but I will bring it down to 12. And 16 constitution. Yeah, we'll keep that as is. Why not? I don't see these things being good at any particular skills. It does make sense to get a tremor sense. What are plant traits? What does that give them immunity to in 3.5? Immunity to charm. Oh, that's actually a very important thing that I forgot to put on. That's a thing I forgot to put on all of these creatures, in fact. So let's fix that. Oh shit, I keep doing this. Plant nature. The Guardian doesn't need to sleep. Plants don't. Yeah, no, plants don't sleep. What the fuck am I talking about? I imagine there's probably a very specific plant that goes into like a inactive state or something, but like, you know, who cares? Will they be immune to exhaustion? Probably not. Yeah, they're not immune to exhaustion. Like, they don't need to sleep, so it doesn't give them exhaustion, but like, you can still exhaust them with like... No, that doesn't make any sense, no. But no plants are immune to exhaustion, so I guess that must be the case then. I guess none of them specify they don't need to sleep either, so... It's kind of weird, but... I'm going to say that they don't need to sleep, because that makes sense. Except the treants. The treants do need to... I'll just call it unusual nature, because it's not universal to all plants. The Tumblethorn definitely doesn't need to sleep. And the Tendriculus is probably the same. Oh, no, I did actually already get there with the Tendriculus. Okay, we're all good. There we go. This doesn't require sleep, not need to sleep. So the Bassadrond, it is... How slow is it? Pretty slow. That makes sense. It's a speed of 10. Senses, it has blind sight, 60 feet. Blind... Oh no, I forgot to... Blind beyond this radius. Definitely doesn't speak any languages. Challenge rating is 5 plus 3. What kind of CR are we looking at here then? $1,800. Nice. condition immunities, we're probably just looking at the same as all the others. Oh, the Tendriculus is immune to exhaustion. Interesting. Oh no, this thing can definitely be proned. Yeah, I guess any creature that isn't... Is the Tumblethorn in any way intelligent? The Tumblethorn is actually, like, it has, like, an intellect. Like, at least vaguely had. Like, it can think, you know? Like, it has, like, a mode of thought. Whereas the Topiary Guardian does not. Oh, I'm stupid. What is the alphabet? I'm not sure. Oh, I just straight up forgot to put its condition immunities in here. Fuck. Right. Bassadrond. Does this thing have like a slam attack or anything? Can it bop you? Does it have a bop move? It does. It has a slam attack. So damage immunities. It is immune to... It is immune to cold damage. Has a special interaction with cold where it's immune, but it actually suffers like other fairly major effects. And it has no resistances or vulnerabilities, no saving throws, and no skills. It does not have either of these, but it does have cold lethargy. Good check. Guy is fucking hammering it down outside. Holy shit. Let's look at a stone golem. Is probably the best way to go about this. Oh, wait, hang on. I've got. I got the bronze golem here instead. There we go. That works out quite well. Whenever the golem is subjected, whenever the Bassidrond, I don't know. It sounds much better as just Bassidrond, but it's Bassidrond or Bassidrond, which is just not. Oh, hang on, it's Bassidrond. Bassidrond? That's actually okay. Bassidrond. There's a Bassidrond in the K. There's a yeah, that works actually. That's quite good. Oh, isn't there a creature that can't right itself when it's prone? I swear there is one. Is it just a turtle? It's not, right? No. Oh, it's the flump. It's the flump. Ha ha ha. So it has two. Right, let's delete this. Oh shit. Hallucinogenic spores. Oh, it's not an action. Okay. Oh, apparently its ability is an action. You know what? I'm gonna. Basitarond. The Basitarond. I must succeed on a DC. This is pretty. Yeah, DC 14 Wisdom saving throw. So for the effects of the confusion spell. Oh, hang on. Let me look at because I don't think they do it like that. I think it's specifically the Oh, what is it? Umber Hulk. Umber Hulk. Is this the same as confusion? I assume it probably is. Oh, it's worse than because confusion. You roll a d10 on a 9 and a 10. You get to take your turn as normal. No, actually, no, that can go there. I need to go look at vampires, because vampires have a very specific thing that they do with regeneration. That I like quite a lot. Bludgeoning damage. Let's just have it do 2d6 plus 3. That's, yeah, 10 bludgeoning damage. A creature that doesn't breathe, is immune to poison damage, or is a construct, plant, or undead, automatically succeeds on this saving throw. Let me go see if there's a better way of wording that in one of the other fungus creatures. The Myconids might have something. Becomes poisoned for 1 minute. I want to give them prone deficiency just because I think that's funny. The flumps are the only things that have it, and I think it's really sad because it's a really funny ability. I think maybe the incapacitated is not prone. Basidarand. Hey, let me go look at the prone condition. No. It's not in the condition. Where is the rule for standing up? Oh, I thought dropping prone cost you half your movement, but it doesn't. That's actually... Huh. The Basidaron must use all of its movement. There we go. So you know it's on its ass, it has to spend its whole turn to stand back up again, as opposed to... Now this thing's a tripod... No, fuck it. No, not gonna. I wanted to give it the funny ability, and I decided not to. This thing has a really high AC, but I don't think that really makes any sense. I'm gonna give it just a 13 AC and make it kind of bulky for what it is. I think this thing is going to struggle to be CR5, like, big time. Like, yeah, it does 20 damage a round, but it has to hit an attack, and then they have to fail a save for them to do that, so I'm not confident. DC's only 14 as well, it's really not all that. Yeah, no. Needs to do way more damage. I guess we could just have it do more damage. It's probably an idea, you know. When the thing doesn't do enough damage, you make it do more damage. Crazy, I know. It says mediocre AC. It has 1 immunity, but it's not really an immunity because it's actually like, you know, if anything, it's better that this thing takes nothing from cold damage because its speed is halved and its 1 core ability just stops working for a while if you do cold damage to it. Let's give it some hit points. It has. Now let's bump that AC up. Let's give it 18 AC. No, it's 18 AC. 18 con. Because that'll increase its DC as well to 15, which will also increase its offensive CR a good bit too. And then we can give it a 16. Honestly, I think it being like CR4 offensively and defensively is, I think, fair, given that this is really scary, and so is, you know, this is a not insignificant amount of damage that it can just pile onto someone. Yeah, sure. We'll do that. So 14d8 plus, what's 14 times 4 is, 4 times 4 is 16, is 56. I realize I could just scroll up on the other screen that I'm on instead of doing any amount of math, but scrolling is more work, I guess. I don't think, it probably isn't, but I don't care. Fuck it, I'm gonna do the math instead. I guess I had to scroll up anyway to make sure my math was right. I should probably just scroll up. Right. That is basically that done. I'm quite happy with this thing. This thing is like a weird wildcard creature, and those are the kinds of creatures that I like. You know, the ones where you look at it and you go, I don't know what the fuck that thing does. Like obviously it's like a fungus, and a lot of fungus creatures do spore stuff. But it's a fucking tripod. Hang on, let me get the art for this guy. Look at this thing. This is a fucking tripod. He's just a big old bowl, man. He's kind of great, though. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. He's kind of great. So either way, I'm very happy with that thing. I'm gonna mark off those two off of my list. The Topiary Guardians I was really excited to do as well. Now I think I'm gonna look at what I think the Bloodthorn is next on my list, and I do not know what that is, because all of these are like creatures I went through like old monster manuals and stuff and found out what they were. Bloodthorns, also known as vampire vines or vampire thorns, are a species of predatory vine found in the Forgotten Realms. It's a large plant. They are quite unpleasant. They look like this. Very bad. I'm not sure if that was a man or not. The fact that I can't tell kind of makes it worse. Oh wow, I just got a scam email that I'm pretty sure is in like Belgian or something. Like it looked almost German, and that probably means it was Belgian or Dutch, and I'm going to assume Belgian because Dutch is further from German than Belgian is. Wait, no, Belgian is in. Hang on. No, Belgian isn't a language. Fuck. They just speak Dutch, German, and French. Fuck. I guess it must have been Dutch then. Maybe it was German. No, it was probably Dutch. Could have been Austrian. That's a thing. Either way, it was a. Oh fuck! It could have been Polish with the way they said the police. I got a scam email. It was pinged up in the corner, and I thought it was funny. I want to see what it says. Yeah, they spell it police. Oh, it is Austria because it even has an AT in it. Oh, that's really fun. Right. Either way, let's look at what this thing does. Ooh, it is on the SRD. Is it called something else then? That's the question. Not in 5e, it's not. Let's take a look. It's not in this one. Let's check Monster Manuals 1 and 2. It's not in 1, that's unsurprising. It's not in 2 either. It might be under Vampire something or other, maybe. It is not. I don't know where this thing comes from. Is it not in 3.5? No, it is. It's in 4th edition. See, also Razorvine. Oh, yeah, no, I know what Razorvine is. Ignore me. Here we go. References on the old wiki. What book is this in? Monster Manual 2 1st edition? Oh, that's the original, like the OG monster. Yeah. So where does it appear in 3.5? (2006). The Jungles of Chult. There's a book. Creatures. Huh. I can't find what book it's in. Straight up, I can't. I don't know what book it's in. Vampire Vine? No, that's 3.5. Bloodthorn. I can't find an SRD printing of it. Just can't. Well, let's work it out. We're gonna work out what this thing is and what it does. It is a large plant. That's all it tells us about it. That's not very helpful, I'm gonna be real, but we'll work it out. Probably. I don't know if we'll work it out. Right. Large plant. What challenge rating was it? CR 3. Good to know. Wasn't particularly high in CR. That's always the problem with plant creatures, is they're never very high CR. Which kind of blows, because like all of the cool plant, like all of the kind of shit you would want. It's, you know, they're all the cool ones. We don't need cold lethargy here. Doesn't require sleep. Yada yada yada. Does it specify abilities? They have a limited ability, they have limited movement, so they're pretty slow, seemingly. They have like that, and they have climb 10 feet. Definitely have spider climb, that's for sure. Spider climb, love to see it. So it is immune to... It seemingly also has cold lethargy, which is interesting. Which I don't really want to bring across. I do, however, want to bring across their immunity to lightning damage, because I think that's cool as fuck. They have an ability where lightning makes them bigger, which they take lightning damage, they get larger, which is cool as fuck. Let's just call it lightning absorption. And let's just filter to flesh golem. That's probably the way to go, right? Fleshy boy. Look at the wording of enlarge reduce, because that's what we want. While huge or larger, the blood thorn. What benefit does it get from being huge? Like, I feel like it should be better at something. I'm not sure how, though. While huge or larger, the blood thorn. The Bloodthorn has advantage. No. Growth loss for 24 hours. I'll go 8 hours. 16, let's give it 14 dexterity. Uh, 16 con and stupid idiot. Let's make it like as smart as the Tendriculus, maybe. Plus 2 bonus to AC, its speed increases by 20 feet and it gains advantage on strength checks and saving throws. Spider climb. What other abilities? Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. This is an ability that's on basically no creatures, and I think it's cool. It's very, very strong though, but it's cool. It is called. I know sharks have it. Very specifically, yes. It is called Blood Frenzy, and I think it's really cool. It just gives them advantage on things that are missing any hit points, which is obviously very powerful, but I don't care, it's cool. So it has lightning absorption, which is fun. If you blast it with lightning, it's like, oh, okay, right, I've made us a larger problem, in a very literal sense. Oh no, this is bad. I put 2 dots in there, that's my mistake. Multi-attack. Now, I think I know what I want, because I want this thing because this thing looks like it engulfs you like a Shambling Mound does, and I don't think Shambling Mound should be the only creatures that have that kind of effect. Oh, interesting. Shambling Mounds also have lightning absorption. Very interesting, actually. That's kind of cool. Make it immune to being prone as well, because it is just a pile of vines. Can't exactly prone at something that's just a pile. Tendril. +5, reach 10 feet, 1 target hit. Let's go 8, let's go 1d10 plus 3 slashing damage. Snag the text for engulf. relatively happy with that. Target contains blood. The Bloodthorn then regains. It's very different from a Shambling Mound, but it does fulfill sort of a similar kind of vibe. These hit points will obviously change because that's geared for like a CR5 creature. But let me look at. I feel like the lightning immunity is like a cool thing, but I don't think it really increases the CR at all. It's just kind of like a thing. So damage-wise, we're looking at 16, 24. Yeah, it does like 24 damage, which is fairly significant. And it has +5 to hit. Hit points wise, it's AC 14 and it's large. 16 con. Let's give it 8d10. No. 12d10. There we go. 3 12s is 36. That is 102 hit points. Damn, has 102 hit points. It's pretty beefy. I might give it susceptibility to fire as well, just because that seems kind of like appropriate. I do like this thing actually. This thing seems dangerous, you know, like it seems scary in a sense. Like this thing will just come out at you. Oh, it needs false appearance. That's a big one. It needs false appearance. That's sort of my only real concern with this book as a whole, and just plants in general, is a lot of them kind of fulfill a very similar role of being ambush predators, because most of them are slow as all balls. Like the Basidiron is definitely one that helps sort of buck that trend, and as does the Tendriculus, but it is hard to like thematically differentiate a lot of these creatures. Like things like the Tumblethorn will help, but like the Bloodthorn is very, very similar to like a Shambling Mound. Also, I forgot about Blood Frenzy. I do need to bring this thing's hit points down a bit to sort of compensate. Makes it not super tanky. Let's go 10d10. That's 85 hit points. That's 10. That's 3. It's 30. It's indistinguishable from a normal thorny bush. I do like the Tendriculus. It is indistinguishable from a particularly large mound of shrubbery. I just like that it's particularly large. It's just sort of towing the line of like a little too silly for me, but because it is just towing that line. I like it a lot. I think it's a good kind of dumb. The kind that I personally feel like you can get away with. I may be biased because I wrote it, but I think you sort of understand. Like I have a very sort of specific like. I would never be able to really describe it to you in a way that it is helpful, but once there is a line that you cross where you can't take this seriously. Like you yourself will look like an idiot for taking this seriously. Something that invites a joke is something that I find sort of innately too silly for the game. Like I've a very sort of particular idea on like the kinds of like what crosses the line for me. Like for me, it's things like Turtles and Loxodon, where they just kind of like I've never seen anyone make a Turtle or Loxodon character where their whole shtick isn't that they are a Turtle or a Loxodon. They don't make a character who happens to be a thing. They make a character who is a Turtle or a Loxodon, which is why I like just straight up don't ever allow. I don't have them on my list of like allowed races ever, because it's, you know, I've never seen a human person ever do it, let alone like obviously I've seen, you know, I've played Magic, I know what Strixhaven is, I know who God, I've forgotten his name. What is his name? The Loxodon from Strixhaven. Oh, he has a name. What the fuck is his name? Quintorius. That's it. Quintorius. I think he's the only example that I can think of like a named Loxodon in any or elephant dude creature in any piece of media where I'm like, I can take this seriously. To a lesser extent, there's Perry the Pulverizer from Streets of New Capenna. Obviously different creature, but you know, the rocks, like I think about them in the exact same way I do about the Loxodon, where they're just like this invites people who make characters that are just the thing that they are and nothing more, or the obvious second step of, oh, it's the thing that they are, but it's juxtaposed to be, you know, like, oh, they're a Loxodon, but they're actually super chill, or they're rocks, but they're super chill, or they're a Turtle, but they're, I don't know, super violent, or whatever. I don't know. It really just doesn't interest me at all. They become a novelty, I think, and that kind of thing annoys me. There are plenty of people in my playgroup who very much disagree with me, but it's my game, so I don't care. Oh no! I thought I did my average numbers wrong there. Says I've had like a lot of discussions with various different people about like game tone and like exactly what sort of crosses the line for me as like a this has gone from like a funny joke to, okay, you're just annoying now. Because I've had players who have like, you know, sort of been like the table clown, and they're never funny. Like, they're never funny. Most of them are people who have seen shows like The Adventure Zone or Critical Role, and they look at like the more comedic actors in those shows, and will be like, I want to do exactly that. And there's a reason those shows are popular, and like the people who do the comedy in those shows, I guess for The Adventure Zone it's all of them, but like you know what I mean. Like it's they're comedians, they are professionals, they are funny for money. That's like their whole thing. And the people that try to imitate them, it never works. It's like forced comedy of any form is like, nah, it's just bad. It's sometimes it's funny, but when it is funny, it's funny in a frustrating way because you don't want it to be funny. It's disruptive either way. So I've had not many, but like I've had some like just generally unfun experiences of like players who play the game like that. It's just not. It just fucking sucks. Oh. Right, we have about 15 minutes before I want to sort of stop. We've done a lot of good work today. We've just sort of, you know, slammed through like 3 creatures. We're making really good progress on this. Because I'm quite hungry and I want to go make food, I might stop soon here, especially because depending on how my day looks tomorrow, my game tomorrow evening has been cancelled. I may be able to do a short stream probably around sort of like 6:30 tomorrow, and go for sort of like an hour and a half maybe, and like make a couple more monsters. We might do something else. We'll probably just work more on this. Like I've got like a couple players that they want to watch the England game because World Cup's on, and it's like, well, that's fair enough. Like once every 4 years, sure, you watch the England game, it's fine. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I've moved my game to like next Wednesday, I think. But yeah, say we'll sort of have to sort of check and make sure everything is all oh god, fuck me, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm gonna be sort of like, if basically if I have time and the energy, I will most likely stream some more of this tomorrow evening. As for like other bits and pieces, I am slowly working through my mountain of work. Like it is starting to sort of peter out of, well, not peter out, but like my work load is steadily decreasing at the moment. Like I've said that before, and it's just suddenly like rocketed up by like the many percent. But it's well, I'm just gonna have to play it by ear, really. I do have a project I'm not sure if I'm gonna do on stream. I probably won't, just because of the nature of it. It won't be very interesting to stream. It's a very sort of prose heavy. Like when I'm doing this, there's bits where it's kind of boring, but most of it, it's like I can talk about what I'm doing. But this is like, basically, I'm releasing an adventure, like a short adventure sometime in the new year, to because the first time I've ever done it is released a piece of content to specifically coincide with a book release, and Keys from the Golden Vault is the first book of next year. I imagine I think it comes out in like, I don't think we have a release date. It's in winter 2023, so presumably it's going to be in late January or February, most likely anyway. So my sort of job for that period of time is going to be writing and releasing a short adventure to sort of coincide with Keys of the Golden Vault. I will be sort of doing the initial planning for that probably sometime next week. I might do it on stream. I don't know. It really does just kind of depend on how things are going. Because Flower is kind of like my side project at the moment whilst I'm working on editing bits, and while I'm working on editing stuff, and while I'm writing this adventure. The adventure is not very long, but it's also the first time I've written and released a full adventure. Like, I've written adventures before for my home game, some in a more sort of official sense than others, and I've edited many adventures, but it is still like, it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting new challenge, because for a very long time I was kind of like, I don't want to write adventures. Like, I have had experiences of like, I've had like a couple experiences of like writing adventures before, and one of them they were both sort of so-so. One of them I quite enjoyed, and the other one was like a nightmare hell experience, and it was like actually one of the worst experiences I've ever had working in the industry. Just like it sucked. It was awful. So I think that's going to be like a fun challenge. Everything else next year is really kind of up in the air. I want to do more monster books. I really like making them. I had planned to release, like, in my roadmap all the way back at the beginning of this year, I had planned around this time to have released Gargoths and potentially the third archive, but Gargoths has sort of like petered out just because of the sheer amount of artwork that it is, as just there was like, AJ was super busy over the summer, and we made very little progress over that time, so we're gonna shoot for next year this time, and just sort of give her as much time as she needs to be working on it. other than that, I do want to release Archive 3. It will definitely involve a major sort of like sitting down and like hammering out a lot of spells. It's going to be very difficult, I think, for me to like find new niches, because I made a fuck ton of spells for my home game a long time ago, and the vast majority of them can go into the archive, which means that I will probably only have to make, give or take, about 30 or 40 new spells, which sounds on paper like an absurd amount, and it definitely is, but like it might be less than that. I think it's like 42, but some of them that I decided couldn't go into the book might actually be able to go in anyway, so I'll work that out. But even so, that's definitely a project for next year. I know one thing I want to do is I want to use less, because I have been doing it, is just use less bespoke art. Not because I don't like using it, because I do like using it, but it increases the development time for content by an absurd amount. Like, it just massively, like, it basically doubles the dev time of anything that I'm working on, and in some cases more than that, just because art takes a long fucking time. It's just kind of how it is, and if I don't have one artist illustrating an entire 40-page book over the space of a few months, and instead, they do a couple choice pieces, they do the cover, and like, it's the kind of thing I think I'm gonna have AJ do more, is just less art, because there's so much, and like Gargoths is gonna be like a huge project. I'll be learning a lot as well from this as well. I'll be able to fill that book out with lots of other fiend creatures, like revamped fiend creatures, and like some of the art we do have for Gargoths. There's not much of it that's done, but there's like the stuff that is done is so good. It is honestly like AJ's best work. We have art for Mammon in the book. I won't really say anything more than that, but we have art for Mammon, and it is straight up like probably the best. It's a strong contender for the best thing she's ever drawn. It is so fucking good. It's so cool, but I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to show it until much later on down the line. I'm super hyped for Gargoyles, so that is the kind of book I'm going to put real sort of like I'm going to go buck wild on that book and make it like the coolest book ever. Huge book of fiends. Like I made the character options live on stream. I did it like 8 months ago, I think, as the Implin and the subclass for the barbarian and the sorcerer, which will be sort of play tested and edited a little bit more, and then they'll go in the book. Be fuck ton of monsters. Probably put some magic items in there as well. I haven't actually thought about that yet, but there's probably going to be some. Oh Christ! But yeah, I think that book is going to be big. I'm gonna put like actual like a substantive amount of money on the table to make that book happen, which is not something I've really done before. Like, I've paid for minor bits and pieces of advertisement here and there, but I'm considering putting down like serious money. Not serious money, but like, an actual like amount of money, and a lot of like promotional stuff, using Reddit and Twitter and like shit like that. But that is still a fair ways down the road. That's sort of like we're talking like 10, 11 months from now. Like it's a fair ways away, but I want to make sure AJ can get everything done in that time, and we can sort of set good deadlines and stuff. Archive 3 is probably going to happen. Repository 3 it feasibly is going to happen, but with 1D&D, the more we learn about that over next year and the year after, it really depends, because I'm not looking forward to 1D&D at all. It's going to throw a big old spanner in the works, because I know 5e inside and out, and 1D&D is not massively different, but it's just going to be a pain in the ass to have to learn a bunch of new shit and design for a system I don't like. It's going to suck, I think, is like, you know, I enjoy my work, but I think having to make basically 2 versions of everything I make, one that's works with 1D&D and one that doesn't, is just going to be it's just going to be wank. I'm really not looking forward to it, but, you know, it is what it is. Either way, I have rambled for a while, so I'm gonna head off here because I want to go cook dinner. So I'm hungry, and I mean that's kind of all the explanation you really need. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go cook food. All going well, I will stream at some point tomorrow. I don't know when specifically, but it will be at some point tomorrow. I hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I think, will there be a stream on Monday? There should be, I think. Pretty sure there should be a stream on Monday too. So even if I'm not around this coming week, there should be a new stream on Monday. Yeah, hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I will hopefully see people tomorrow. If not, they'll be on Monday. So yeah.